said I called her on her cell phone and her house phone, left messages, and she said, your mom doesn't ever not call me back when I call her. And so she was concerned about that and wanted me to go check on her.
And so what did you do?
I hurried up and got dressed, and while I was doing that, I also tried calling both her cell phone and her house phone, and didn't get any, she didn't answer. So I went ahead and drove out to her house to see what I could find out.
And what time do you think that was when you got to her home?
I believe it was probably between 8:15, possibly 8:30.
And when you arrived at your mother's home, where did you park at?
I pulled into the Circle Drive, just a little bit up past where the red truck is parked in that picture.
Okay. Was her truck sitting there at that time?
Yes, it was.
And when you first pulled into the driveway, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
Not until I got out of the truck and started walking up to the door.
And as you were walking to the door, what was the first thing that you saw that seemed unusual?
She has a little, what she called a dog gate that fits, it slides through the front of that gate to block the opening so that her little dog can't get out. And that board was laying about halfway down the sidewalk, and it was still in one piece, but it looked like it was cracked all the way in half from top to bottom. It was just kind of laying at an angle in the middle of the sidewalk. It just looked like somebody had kicked it through, and that's where it landed.
And did you look around and see anything else that was out of place?
There was also a decorative pumpkin. I don't know what it was made out of, but it was, you could almost tell where it was on the side of the step, and it was rolled off of there down in the grass. And on the other side, it looked like she had a plant with a little angel statue in it, and there was some dirt knocked out of it, and the statue was broken off of the stake, laying down on the step.
Mr. Boller, I'm going to show you what's marked on State's Exhibit number 2. Ask if you can identify that.
And again, it's a picture of my mom's house.
That'd be the front of the house?
Yes.
And is that the way it appeared on November the 7th?
Yes,
And the board you referred to, is it in that photograph?
it is.
Where is that located?
It's about halfway down the sidewalk.
Judge, I'd offer State's Exhibit 2.
Any objection? No objection. States 2 is admitted.
And Ms. Boller, as you look at the photograph, the board you're referring to, is that board laying on the sidewalk?
It is.
And do you see the pumpkin in the photograph?
Yes, there to the side.
Can you point to that for me?
Yes.
Now, where does that normally sit?
I believe it was sitting there.
And where's the board usually at?
The board slides between this end of the board.
And the board is there for the dog?
Yes, to keep the dog from getting off of the porch.
So your mother would let the dog out on the porch and...
Yes.
Now, did you see the dog that morning?
Yes, she was, even as I pulled up, I could see her, the screen door was shut just like that, but the big door was open. She was standing up with her paws up on the door, looking out.
Did you see your mother anywhere?
No.
And the front door was open as it's shown in the photo.
Yes, all the way back against the wall.
The screen door is closed, but the inside door is open.
Yes.
And can you tell us in that photograph where your mother's office was located?
And this is the windows to her office. And as you go in the door, it's the first door on your left.
And would it be normal for those curtains to be closed as they are in the photo during the daytime?
Possibly.
Did you then enter the home?
I did.
And upon entering the home, did you see anything odd?
I noticed that in the entryway, there's just a small entryway, and she has a rug that fits almost exactly into that square entryway, and that was moved out of that square just a little bit, maybe about 3 or 4 inches at an angle.
I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 3. This tell us what that is?
This is a picture of the rug that's right inside the door in the entryway.
And is that the rug you're referring to that was disturbed?
Yes,
And is that the way it appeared when you entered the home?
yes.
At office 3.
No objection.
Stage 3 is hereby admitted.
Ms. Boller, it's kind of hard to see in that photograph, but can you point out where the rug was disturbed?
Yes. You can kind of see the leaf pattern on it. And it is hard to tell, isn't it? It was just kind of, there's the band of it. So it's loud. I'm sorry. It's just kind of crooked this way. It normally would have been fit perfectly into that square.
And would that have been unusual for your mother to left that rug crooked that way?
No, she lives by herself. There aren't little kids running around and mess things up. She would have fixed it.
I'm showing you what's marked in State's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize that?
This is a picture of her living room with a picture of the front door.
Does that accurately depict the way it appeared on November 7th?
Yes.
I'd offer State's Exhibit 4.
No objection.
Stage 4 is admitted.
Ms. Boller, is that the crinkled up rug there that you can see?
Yes.
After you entered the front door, what did you look at first?
I was just looking around for her.
Were you calling for her?
I called out mom, and no response.
And did you notice anything unusual about the door other than it being open?
Well, in the deadbolt lock, there were just a tiny amount of like tan fiber, a piece of fiber sticking out of the deadbolt lock. And also the deadbolt was thrown open as if the door was locked, but the door was wide open.
And did you look around and see anything else?
I noticed the curtains were closed in the living room also, and she had a light on in the living room. The office, the light was on, and at her computer, she had her can of Fresca. She drank Fresca. That was sitting to the left-hand side. Her pink cell phone was right below that by the keyboard, and then her chair was just kind of turned towards the doorway of the office. I mean, you could just looked at it and it looked as if she just got up and walked out of there. But she wasn't there. There was a light on above the sink in the kitchen. Her jacket was over the end of the couch, just laid there neatly. So I walked around the couch and into her bedroom and didn't see her there. She wasn't there in the bathroom. Those lights were all off. Her bed was made. Her pajama pants were laid across the end of the bed. So I came back through, and in the kitchen I noticed that on the end of the counter, her purse and her keys were sitting there. So I walked down the hallway, the bathroom light was off, she wasn't there. There's another bedroom, the light was off, curtains drawn, she wasn't there. And then at the very back of the house is her laundry area, and the door was locked, she wasn't there. So I went downstairs, all the lights were off. There might have been one at the end of there might have been a small light on, I'm not for sure on that. But
Are you referring to going to the basement?